Once, in a kingdom, there lived a minister who used to always say everything happens for good. One day, the king of the kingdom, he was practicing sword fighting, and by mistakenly his little finger got cut and it was bleeding very heavily. The minister came and he saw what was happening and he said, everything happens for good. Now the king, he got offended. He said, it's painful, it's bleeding, and you're saying everything happens for good? You should be punished very heavily for this offense. And he ordered the soldiers to put the minister behind the bars. Now after few days, the king went on an hunting expedition with his soldiers. Somehow the king got isolated from the soldiers. Now the king was searching for his soldiers. And in the meantime, what happened was, there was a group of tribals which came and they kidnapped the king. And the tribals were going to kill the king as a human sacrifice. And when everything was set ready for killing the king as a human sacrifice, what happened is, it was observed that the little finger of the king was cut. And now the rule was, for a human sacrifice, the body should be complete. And now the king's body was incomplete. And so the king was set free. The king was very happy. Then he remembered what his minister said. Everything happens for good. Then he went to the minister and then he asked the minister that, I was saved from killing and that was good which happened to me. But what good happened to you? You were behind the bars. And the minister said, if I was there with you and if I was not behind the bars, then I would have been killed as a human sacrifice instead of you. So I was saved. Good that I was behind bars. Everything happens for good. So in this way, in our life, sometimes we fail to see why things are happening like this. The problems, the chaos, so many things. We fail to see why is it happening. And we keep saying and just telling ourselves that, oh, I'm so unfortunate, I'm so unfortunate. But friends, we have to understand that everything happens with a purpose. Now, when we go in the future and when we see in the past, what happens when we start joining the dots? We find that everything happened for good. The realized souls say that the Eternal Father, that is God, does everything with a purpose, to teach us some lesson or to make us capable enough to withstand some terrible situations in the future. Our plans are based on our past and present experiences. And then we plan a future. But when it comes to God, He sees our past, present, and He also sees the future and He plans it accordingly. So it's very important for a spiritual practitioner to have complete faith on the plan of God. So it's very important that we understand this very important fact that everything happens with a purpose and it's for sure very good for me. Thank you very much.